I'm probably the world's #1 Seal fan. And that means I've got everything seals. I've got seals on my cursor. I got seals on my keyboard, on my shirts, everywhere in my room. I've got seal Wi-Fi that's named after Japan's only seal rescue center. I've got seal plushies. I even have a page dedicated to it. I've been also drawing and making content on seals for the last 4 months, and for hitting my milestone of 90,000 on both platforms combined, I've decided to do a Q&A video to answer all of your burning questions. This is also my first video on YouTube, which is kind of crazy. I wish I would have started a little bit earlier, but I apologize if it seems like I'm rambling a bit much because I'm not used to this long form content stuff. And yeah, but there's more to come and I'm going to get better, I promise. So anyways, the first question, how did you get into seals? So this is a really good question. This question was asked like a million times on Instagram, but it's a perfect question to start the video off. The very start to my love for seals was probably the Crying Nico video. I think it was 2021. And I saw this meme saying he was forced to play Overwatch and he's like crying. You know that GIF. I think everyone knows that GIF. And it was being like sent everywhere on Discord because of the tenor search, GIF search function thing. There's like a bunch of other versions. It's like he was forced to play Apex. He was forced to, I don't know, blank. That kind of like started it all. But the next video that kind of was a nail in the coffin was the Missouri tank scrubbing YouTube video. And that's the one where the scuba diver starts hugging him and he seems super chill with it for some reason. But yeah, second question, first favorite seal. Close tie between Missouri and Ponske. I think I've always had a bias for both of them because of how friendly they seem with their keepers. Unfortunately, rest in peace to both of them. Now, I'm gonna mix together 2 questions that I got on Instagram, and this one was asking for the design process of Sealknight and also the lore behind Sealknight. I was heavily inspired by 2 of my other OCs called Lunacomi. I know that's just like one long, like that's just one name, but it's actually 2 creatures. One of them is a snowshoe hare that's also a knight, and the little scarf thing around his neck is a cloud that can morph into different weapons and like wings and stuff. I came up with an idea that these guys were in a fictional world called Grand Saria, and there was different kingdoms in that world, and each kingdom was based on like a specific animal. So in this case, Komi was from the snowshoe kingdom, and it just so happens Sealknight is also from the same universe, but instead he's from the Seal Kingdom, and that's why he also has a knight's helmet. But what about the wings? What about the wings, Sealknight? Yeah, I was on TikTok live and I got that question like a couple times, like why does he have wings? Well, Sealknight is special, and he's a winged seal, so he's different. And uses his wings to protect his kingdom and those in need. Yeah. Next question, favorite seal video? Ponske's silly tongue video. Favorite thing about seals? Seals stood out to me the most because of their characteristics. There are a lot of beautiful animals in nature, but to me, I think character is the most important for me to like really be invested with them. I'm sure a lot of you guys can understand what I'm trying to say, because when you see these videos of like these quote unquote celebrity seals like Yo-chan or Kroshik, it's so clear you can see their personalities in each of the videos, and that just makes it so much easier for me to, I don't know, be a seal fan, be seal fan number 1. Which race of seal has the biggest dick? All right, moving on. What other animals do I like? I like raccoons and I like tanukis. Do I collect anything else other than seals? I do collect a lot of stuff. I actually collect Chikawa and Pokemon. I'm probably gonna do another video on all the stuff that I own that's Chikawa. I probably own like 50 Chikawa items, and Pokemon stuff I own a lot as well. I also collect playing cards. That's something that I've collected since I was like 14. And I also collect fidget toys as well. Will I ever do a face reveal? I have. But as I do more IRL vlog content stuff, you'll see my face more. I just didn't want to hype it up. I didn't want it to turn it into like a dream situation where like, I don't know. It's just very scary when like thousands of people are just looking at you unveil your face. It's no secret. If you just go down to my Instagram or my TikTok, you can just scroll down a little bit. There's a couple of videos with my face in there. What type of music do I listen to? Well, this is like a rabbit hole. I'm gonna try to keep it short. I listen to a lot of music, and you'll notice that in my background music choices. I grew up listening to a lot of post-hardcore from bands like LTS, but I also like electronic music. I've been listening to DJ Billy Bull a lot this year. I think the comeback with the Eurodance style is like super cool. Kim J's new album is also really good. I also listen to a lot of alternative rock. Some standouts are Paranol, Plastic Tree, Kinoku Teikoku, and Cool Nasm. I could go on about this for hours, to be honest, so I'm just gonna move on to the next question before it's too late. First piece of Seal merch. The first piece of Seal merch I ever owned was a Seal Pochaco. I bought him in a Sanrio land like 3 years ago. It's been everywhere with me, so I took him through most of my studio art classes during university, so there's a lot of charcoal that I got on him. I had to wash him like 4 times. What motivates me to do what I do, or what inspired me to make content? This is a tricky question. I don't really want to ramble too much on this, but I think at first what got me into starting the channel and like making Sealknight as a persona was to show how beautiful seals are, just to like cover seals in general. I think a lot of the videos where I talk about climate change or call to actions on things that are happening around the world, they actually had real life effects. Like people were actually signing and donating, and I realized like the stuff that I put out into the world can actually change it, you know, for the better. I wouldn't say like I did a lot, I made a huge impact, but it's just cool that like I could donate some, I can make a video on it. Some of my audience will listen to it and also donate as well. And there's actual, you know, just even just one life could be changed. So I think that's really amazing. But what keeps me to keep making content? I think, honestly, the reason why I keep making content is because I'm very grateful for the community that I've made. It's so nice that I get to talk about the things that I like, even if it's not about steel sometimes. I think me sprinkling in some of like my type of music and my type of art and my type of references really like garnered this somewhat niche. I don't really like using the word niche, but this niche community of like art making, seal loving, Vocaloid listening, anime watching, manga reading types of people. And I'll continue to keep talking about the things that I like, and hopefully you guys will like it as well. What are my plans for Sealknight for 2026? So I'm in the middle of a slight shift in content style, which is why there's been a slowdown in videos, but I plan to pick things back up soon. I want to start focusing on Sealknight as a character, which means comics, art, merchandise, maybe plushies and keychains and stuff like that. I'll also be focusing more on long form content, which is what you guys are watching right now. And if you guys are enjoying it, you guys should hit like and subscribe. It would help a lot. It's my first video. But yeah, eventually streaming. My internet has been super spotty, so I'm in the process of upgrading it currently. It's like a whole thing. Like I need a route, like a coaxial cable. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. But that's the plan so far. If you guys have any suggestions on what type of content you guys want to see, just drop them down in the comments or DM it to me. I read the DMs. But yeah, that's about it for this video. That's about all the questions that I have. Thank you guys for watching the first video ever. And thank you to everyone that submitted a question. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Oh, it's a blast furnace up here.
Oh! Oh!
Bro.
Oh, wait.
What the